instruction. Mary is a nurse. You give Joe a call. You go through, ask him, who does he know? And he keeps saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. But little do you realize that Mary is actually the gold mine because she has all of these people that, one of her coworkers looking to go through a divorce, another one's looking, to upgrade because they just found out that they're pregnant, all kinds of everythings. So you want to make sure that you're calling both of them. Okay. Now, if you guys have any questions, feel free to go ahead and type those in. We will get them addressed. So I want to make sure we do apologize. There's a little bit of background, so we do mute everybody, but you're welcome to, of course, type them in. Now, once we put that list together, okay, we're going to go ahead and follow with what is known as the rule of 10. What is that rule of 10? That rule of 10 is nothing more than basically looking at everybody on that list, and we're going to take it by 10%. Okay, so we're going to multiply that by 10%. Why do we do that? The reason we do that is just it gives us a target. As a coach, I go through, I'm working with somebody brand new, and what will end up happening is they'll tell me, Coach, I don't really have a lot of people in my database. I only have like 72 people. I'm like, BS. You've been in the business now for 12 years. You pretty much went to high school. You went to college here locally. I mean, you got a bunch of people. But of course, most people don't do their job in putting all of these people on their database. It gives me a certain target to, in a sense, go after. That's why I want to make sure you do not limit who you want to call or who you'd like to be on the list. You got to put everybody on there. Okay. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to just go ahead and type those questions in there. Now, of that, 10% of your database should give you business every year, but you have to ask for it. You have to ask for it because if you don't ask for it, if I go through, Joe, hey, it's Robert, the realtor. How are you doing? Good, man. What's new? What's going on? How's everything going? Yeah, okay, cool. Well, hey, I'm still in real estate. If you have any questions, is there anything I can do? No? All right. Well, if you know of anybody, just send them my way, okay? That doesn't work. That's not going to cut it. You have to be able to be in a position where you're going to be giving them value. So in that, I'm going to ask of you guys to do a quick little exercise with me. Okay, and what is that exercise? The exercise is just simply nothing more than I want you to go on your phone. And on your phone, I want you to go to your contact list. And on your contact list, you're going to scroll all the way down to the very bottom, and you're going to look at how many people are on that list. I want you to take that list, that number, and identify, well, not identify, but cut it in half. And cutting it in half, you're going to multiply it by 10%. That's going to give you a target. And in that target, that's going to give you guys the opportunity to identify how much business you're losing out on. And that's a very simple exercise. Very simple exercise. Now, how accurate is that? Probably not very accurate. But I can tell you this, in most cases, it's not going to be less. In most cases, it's going to be more than that. So we now have a target to go after, okay? I go through with a new coaching client. I ask them exactly what I just did with you. They tell me, well, Coach, I don't have a lot of people. I only have like 72 people on my database. I go, nope, absolutely BS. Go to your phone, go to your contacts, go to the very bottom. How many people do you have on there? Well, I have 942 people on there. 942 people, and you're telling me you only have 72 people on your database? Come on, let's figure this out, okay? I go through the exact same exercise with them and they go, oh, wow, Coach, I didn't realize I had 283 people. Why 283 versus the 942? Because they start to realize, oh, goodness, I don't even know who that person is. American Airlines, you got, Dutch Bros, you got Starbucks on there, you got all kinds of everythings, and you're just going through and starting to little by little eliminate it. Okay. Any questions that anybody has? Let's move on. All right. So now my question based on the exercise that we just did is what percentage are you getting? Okay. What is it that you are getting? How many deals are you actually accomplishing based on the exercise that we just did? Are you getting 10%? Are you getting 2%? Are you getting 1%? It's very common whenever I'm working with a brand new client that in most cases, they're anywhere between 4 to 6%. Okay. And a 6% is a really good agent. So this is something we're going to continue to work on. So let's break down all of the rest of the information. Now, how do we do this? When do we call them? We have to speak to all of the people in our database 4 times a year. Got to call them, pick up the phone, call them. This is really important because a lot of you, unfortunately, what you'll do is you go through. I just went through a training with a group of recently or earlier today, and a person goes, "Well, I'm calling my database." I'm like, "Okay, cool, awesome, good for you. How many people are you calling over the last 90 days?" "Well, I think I've called about a good 70, maybe 80 people." "Okay. Well, I want you to go to your phone. I want you to look at how many people do you have on your phone." They go through and it was like 432. I was like, so in reality, even based on the theory that I just went through, cut it in half, 200 and some. So you're really only calling about 40% of your people. And even then, like I said, it's not even half of half, if that makes sense. But you got to call them and pick up the phone and talk to them 4 times a year. Okay. Not text them. Now, in this, let's talk a little bit about what I call as chair business. This is a great opportunity because we talked about the 5 different categories. In the 5 different categories, we have past clients, we have family, we have friends, we have associates. One of the five, okay, that's associates. Within that one of the five, there's what I call, again, chair business. These are people, this is areas where you go and you get serviced at a chair. Where do we go get service at a chair? Well, how about think about a dentist? Think about like a nail salon, hair salon, barber. Okay. Now, why am I talking about this? Because again, of the five, I'm talking about one of the five. And of that one of the five, this is probably maybe one of 30 or 40 people that should be in of those one. You go through as a barber, as an example, when you're going and getting service, the average guy goes to the barber every 2, maybe every 3 weeks. Let's just simplify it. Let's say every 2 weeks. Now, on average, a barber is attending to 6, 8, or 10 people. Let's just simplify it and say 10 people, 5 days a week. So there's 50 people in one week, another 50 people in another week. There's 100 people that are being serviced by this barber. You guys with me? Now, of that barber, of the people that are being attended by that barber, of the 100 people, how many of those people are in the real estate industry? 5, 7, 8, maybe 10. Okay, I'm not talking about just realtors. Okay, I'm talking about escrow, title, lender, home warranty, all of these people. It's probably about a good 7, 8, maybe 10. Now, of that, how many of those are realtors? Okay, because I also coach commercial, I also coach lenders, I also coach so on and so forth. There's probably a good likelihood there's going to be 1, 2, or 3 lenders. There's going to be 1, 2, or 3 realtors. But the question is, when it comes into a referral, are they giving it to you? And think about everything I just described, especially for the women that are here. I mean, getting your nails done, getting your hair done, getting your eyelashes done, getting your eyebrows done, getting like all of these technicians, the technician of the technicians. Are you that person? Are you the go-to realtor? Now, of the three, let's say realtors and or lenders, the other 97 that are not in the business, what do you think they're talking about when they're sitting there in the chair? Okay. Well, my son's my barber. But when I go, I'm hearing all these conversations that's happening in this chair, that chair, this other chair. Man, did you hear about the Lakers? Did you hear about, the Niners losing? Did you hear about, the Dodgers who they signed? Bro, I just got a new car, blah, blah, blah. Hey, man, I'm going to get married. Hey, I just found out we're pregnant. Dude, I just found out about my girl cheating on me. Life's happening. And in that life that's taking place, there is real estate conversation that's taking also place. Are they referring that business to you? Whether it's a dentist, whether it's a nail technician, your hairstylist, okay, your barber, your whoever. Are they giving you that business? So I want you to think about that. Okay. Now, of this, continuing on, there's another rule or law that I call law of 60. Okay. Now, I really wish I learned this earlier on. I mean, I come from a great coaching tutelage. I've had some great coaches, but some of my coaches did not simplify. And that's what I'm trying to do for you guys today. I'm really trying to simplify how we approach this. Now, the law of 60 is this. I already talked about. We got to call them 4 times a year. That's once a quarter. Once a quarter. And in a quarter, there's 3 months. Okay. And in those 3 months, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the average number of business days per month. Okay. Average number of business days per month. That's about 20. 4 weeks in a month, 5 days a week, 4 times 5 is 20. So there's 3 months, 20 plus 20 plus 20. Now, why is this important? This is important because the number 60 is what we're going to divide, because they're not even going to do math today, huh? You're going to divide that into the number of people you have in your database. Again, you organize your list. Robert told me to put it on past clients, family, friends, associates, and vendors. I put them all in the Excel spreadsheet. I separated the husband and the wives. Okay. I cleaned out all of the companies that were not supposed to, in a sense, be in there. I figured out a large percentage of this. I'm moving this thing. You're smiling and dialing. You're calling these people. You're doing with what it is you're supposed to. You went from 942 when it was all said and done. You went to 237. Whatever. It's a starting point. But what you're going to start to do is you're going to start to build momentum because now you're closing more business. You're getting more deals. You're having new past clients. You're building new relationships. You're meeting new people. And what is 237 of today is going to become 312, which is going to become 472, 563, 797. You're going to take that number 6 and you're going to divide it into it. Why am I talking about this? Because this gives you the exact number of people you need to be speaking with every day. There you go. Okay. So that I didn't lose you guys, we're going to call them 4 times a year, once a quarter. In each quarter, there's 3 months. In those 3 months, there's on average 60 business days. You're going to take that number 60, divide it into the number of people you have in your database. I wish I knew this a long time ago. Okay. And this is what separates me as an exceptional coach. This is how it gave me the opportunity to coach 26 people into millionaire status. A good coach is going to ask you, hey, Robert, did you call your database? Yep, sure did. Called my database. Good job, Robert. Whatever. A great coach is going to ask, how many people did you speak to in your database? Well, I'm going to go through as a group. Well, not I, referring to as a great coach. As a great coach, awesome, great job. So you spoke to 12 people last week. Way to go. The problem is as a great coach, not everybody actually knows how many people they have in their database. As a great coach, they might not necessarily know how many people that person has. Good job in terms of calling 12 people, but you have 872 people. That's weak. That's pathetic. We need you. I need you to pick up the pace. As an exceptional coach, not only am I going to ask you, did you call your database? I'm going to ask you, how many people did you call in your database? I'm also going to ask of you to put them all in an Excel spreadsheet, which again, I equip all of my coaching clients with. And of that, I'm going to say 12. Awesome. Good job. But let's take a look exactly with where you're at. Here we are, January 21st. So 12 last week, 10 the week before that, and then another 8. So you've spoken to 30 out of 872. Come on, I need you to pick up the pace, Javier. That's only about a 2% of your database. Dude, I need you to pick up the phone and call these people at a faster pace. Let's go back to where we started a few weeks ago. Let's take that 60, divide it into 872. Javier, I need you to be talking to 12 people a day, not 12 people a week. Let's pick up the pace. Did you guys get with what I'm getting at? All right. So let me take a look. Any questions here? Okay, if you do, feel free to type them in. Okay, LJ2130, I think you're referring to the number of people on your contacts list. Absolutely. Okay, so I would be ecstatic to be coaching a person like you, because the likelihood is of those 2130, there's probably going to be a legitimate 800 to 1200 people that should be on this database list. We take that 10%. Already 80, 100, 120 transactions. And this is where I double, triple, and quadruple agents' income, because that's one of 4 sources I expect all my coaching clients. Everybody has a database. And then we go into what is that second source? What is that third source? What is that fourth source? Okay. For a newer client, yesterday I spoke with a young lady and she had mentioned to me that she's newer to the business. I asked if I could coach her and I said, absolutely, I can coach you. Let me talk a little bit about your database. And she goes, well, I haven't been in the business much more than about 6 months. And I've only done 2 deals. I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty cool. So what's your goal? She goes, well, I want to make $250,000. All right, well, that's a lofty goal. Let's take a look at it. Can we do this? How many people do you have? Past clients, family, friends, so on and so forth. I said, I got about 400 people. There we go. So 400 people, you should be getting about 10% return on your investment if you do your job the way you're supposed to. That's 40 deals, but it's not going to happen. We're not going to get 40 deals out of there. Okay. We may not necessarily get 20 deals out of there, but if I can squeeze 10 deals out of that one source, there's 10. What else are you doing? Open houses? Okay, cool. How often would you like to be doing them? Well, I could probably do them maybe 2 or 3 times a month. Okay, good. Can you squeeze out 4 to 6 deals from there? Absolutely. So there's a second source. What else are you doing? Well, I'm also knocking on doors. How many doors are you knocking on? Well, I'm knocking on probably about 25 doors a week. Nope. I need you knocking on 50 doors a day. Can you do that? Yeah, I can do that. Cool. Awesome. Another 4 or 6 deals from there. And all we're doing is putting ourselves in a position where this particular person in the last 6 months done 2 deals, instantly goes from 10 deals to this source, another 4 deals from this source, another 4 deals from this source, and then another 2 deals from this source. That's 20 deals. LA area, that's almost $300,000. Okay. So you got to be able to identify these things. I'm almost done here. All right. So let's move on. I also want you to do some passive things. Some of this passive things is sending emails, mailers, 4 times a year. And the reason you're going to do that 4 times a year is just simply just to stay in touch. It's another added connection. Now, there's 4 different scripts I want you to use. Okay. The first 3, actually, I have them in the wrong order, but anyways, regardless, there's an intro script, new or newer agent. You're going to use this script. Or how about somebody who just changed brokerages? Did you just change brokerages? That's going to be the intro script. Or if you're an agent that's been in the business for an extended period of time, I'm going to ask if you use the reconnect script. The reconnect script is basically for those people you haven't spoken with in 2, 3, 5, or even 10 years. Reconnect with them. The third one is with what is the adoption script. This is for people that you're going to be, in a sense, yep, absolutely. You're going to be adopting them. As an example, do you have a son or daughter that is in sports, in dance, in PTA? You're going to take those 8, 10, 12 other families and boom, you're going to start to adopt them. Okay. Now, all of those are the introductory calls. Then the fourth one is the maintenance script. And the maintenance script is the one you're going to be calling them on number 2, number 3, number 5, number 10, number 20, all the way infinity and beyond. Okay. If you guys, of course, need those scripts, you guys are welcome to, of course, you guys can scan this QR code. This is going to give you guys the scripts. Now, from that, if you don't have a chance or you're on your phone, I can't actually access it, just go to my website. It's very simple. As you can see, my handle, it's www.therobertvillanueva.com. Okay, so you can go ahead and access them there. All right, moving on. What about the why? When talking to these people, okay, when talking to these people, you always have to bring some value to the call, something that's going to be of importance. Giving them a call, Joe, hey, this is Robert. Do you know of anybody that's thinking about buying, selling, or investing? No? All right, cool. I'll call you in 3 months and beg for more business. You got to give before you can receive. Okay. So in that, I again equip all of my coaching clients with a menu of topics. They get, I haven't even counted them. I think it's about a good 16, 18, 20 of them. I know a few of my coaching clients are on here, but some of the topics are going to be along the line of loan programs, law changes, trust benefits, yearly updates, quarterly updates, stats, interest rates, law changes, benefits of a trust. That's already on there. Reassessment of taxes, all of these things. You're going to call your people and give them, in a sense, that value. Now, I did, of course, talk about where we put these people. Keep it simple. Put on an Excel sheet, date it as to when you've called them, and give yourself a deadline to complete. Okay? Put them on a list. Put the date next to Joe Schmo when you call them, Sarah Smith, Bob Jones, Patricia Martinez. You're going to put all of those people on that list. Okay? What you're also going to do is you're going to go at the very bottom of that list is you're going to give yourself a deadline. I started January 21st. Robert's going to call them every 3 months. So that's going to put me February, March, April. I have to be done with this by the end of April. That's my deadline. That's simple. Okay. All right. So with that basically being said, very, very simple. I just want to, of course, take a minute to say thank you guys. If you want more information about coaching, here is the coaching platform. I do want to say, of course, thank you guys for being here. Is there any questions that I can address? I wanted to give you the very short, the very brief, right to the point information about your database. So any questions that I can address? We're good? All right, everybody. Well, I want to take a minute to say thank you all for attending. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Okay, we're going to continue to break down database mastery. I always do the wrap up once a month, but as you can see, I don't break down the scripts. The script breakdown is always happening in the morning. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7:30 a.m. To 8 a.m. Pacific Standard. And then, of course, for all my East Coast homies, that's 10:30 for you guys. All right, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 7:30. Have a powerful and productive day. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.